Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. This is Colonial Puppet. It is a cold January afternoon, so I'm kind of bundled up inside with a warm cup of coffee and a Dave & Buster's mug. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. So yeah, for my first video of 2025, I'm going to be covering something I've been looking forward to for some time now, over a year. It is the Black Case mod from MacEffects LLC for the Apple IIc. As you can see, I have my Apple IIc here. I actually recorded a full restoration video for this particular Apple IIc, but I never got around to releasing it. This was back in 2019, 2020, but thankfully it's going to be in this video, but it's not going to be the main focus. The main focus is going to be what's in this cardboard box here, which is the actual MacEffects Black Case. And it's not just a black case, it's a black mechanical keyboard as well, and I think they said there's a black handle. The Apple IIc actually has this cute little handle that doubles as a kickstand. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be unboxing it. I'm gonna be installing it, so I'm gonna be stripping this of its original case and putting on the black one. And yeah, just kind of having a good time. So thank you for joining me in this experience. I'm excited to get the box open. As for the Apple IIc itself, I'm not really gonna get into its history. There are plenty of videos on YouTube that extensively cover this machine. But I guess just to add some context for those of you who are not familiar with it, it is essentially a compact version of the Apple IIe. It was released a little bit after the original Macintosh in 1984, and yeah, its main goal was to be a compact, semi-portable Apple II with a lot of things that would be taking up an expansion slot on an Apple IIe or II Plus, integrated into its motherboard, things like a port for peripherals like a joystick. It has an integrated floppy disk drive, as you can see on the side here. And yeah, it's just a really cool machine. It's personally my favorite Apple II, mainly because of its industrial design. It was the first computer of Apple's to incorporate the Snow White design language developed by Frog Design, which was founded by the famous designer Hartmut Esslinger. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I butchered that. And yeah, the Snow White design language is pretty recognizable, mainly through its heavy use of these thinning grills that are prominent on the top and bottom of the IIc, as well as around the back of the matching monitor. It was also used in several other computers, such as the Macintosh II and other variants of the Macintosh II, the Macintosh SE, SE30, and I think the LC line were the last computers to use the design language, but I might be wrong. There have also been several concept and mock-up computer designs that have come to light from Frog that have kind of captured a lot of people's curiosity because they're all really cool looking, and several of them kind of look like the Apple IIc but are black, which kind of brings us back to the main focus of this video, that being the black case. It looks like a few of the mock-ups that I'm kind of obsessed with, and that's partly why I backed this Kickstarter. I thought it'd be cool to have a black IIc and something that's kind of close to those mock-ups that never made it to the public. So yeah, enough yapping. Let's get to unboxing this thing. I got a pair of scissors right here. I'm excited to open this. All right, let's see what we got. Heck yeah. All right, so right off the bat, this is the box it comes in. Let me try and get this in frame. All right, so I backed up the camera a little bit to get the full thing in frame. As you can see, this is actually made to look like the original box that the Apple IIc came in, with the red, and the person on the original box was kind of dressed similarly, holding the computer in that way. You can also see it's the clear case on the cover. I think both the black and the clear shipped in this box, unless I was mistakenly sent the wrong one. Hopefully not, but we'll find that out now. So, all right, so here we go. It's extremely light. So everything that comes in the box here. And it looks like we got printed instructions, which is nice. Oh, that's awesome. So it also comes with a black serial number sticker to go on the bottom, which is nice. Got black rubber feet for the bottom. Here we got a spare Apple IIc Apple. And yeah, I forget where these clamp into, but they allow some of the case screws somewhere to screw into. Where exactly, I forget, but we're going to find out, and it's nice that we have spares. All right, now for the moment of truth. I'm gonna pull off the foam, and there it is. Oh, I did it upside down. So here's the bottom of the case. And already I can see, oof, all right, this is really cool. Oh, wow. Yeah, and it feels exactly like the original as far, oh, wow. That is awesome. That is sleek. Dang. There's where the little Apple badge goes. As you can see, they silk screened all of the text onto the black case, which is awesome. There's stickers or anything like that. So yeah, so there's no black plastic covering for the 5 1/4 drive. Yeah, I might do a follow-up for the faceplate, and I might try various methods of making it blend in with the rest of the case. Maybe through painting it or 3D printing a black version of it. We'll figure that out. But for now, this looks amazing. And the cool thing about MacEffects, and this is true with all of their kind of case offerings, is that they go through the laborious process of creating injection molds and injection molding all of these. So they're as legit as it gets. They're not 3D printed. Not that there's anything wrong with 3D printing, but the injection molding definitely makes it feel like the original, and kind of gives it a second layer of authenticity, which is really cool. Yeah, just really high quality stuff. All right, so now I'm gonna get to transplanting the internals of the original IIc into the new black case. I'm not gonna be talking through that. I'll just put some calming music while I get to work. And yeah, once it's all transplanted and the black case is good to go, I'll have final thoughts and close the video out. Here's where those metal brackets will be installed on the black case. Okay, so as you can see, the 2C is fully transplanted into its new black case. And before I get into what I think about it, just the aesthetics of it, I have to make some repairs because after I transplanted everything, I plugged my 2C in with its original power brick and flipped the switch, and no lights came on. I didn't hear the clicking of the floppy drive. Instead, all I heard was this increasingly high-pitched screeching noise coming from the PSU, which is not good. So it's actually been a couple days since I put this together. And since then, I ordered a few parts just to get this thing up and running as quickly as possible because I want to see what the backlight keyboard looks like, at least, and share that on this video. So I got two things. Hopefully the logic board isn't fried, whatever that high-pitched noise was. Hopefully it was just localized to the PSU and the power brick. I purchased a modern replacement adapter from eBay. I also managed to get a spare internal PSU for the 2C from a good friend of mine named Paul Weaver. He is also local and deals heavily in repairing and preserving old Apple II systems of all types. So thank you, Paul. This is a lifesaver. And with that, I'm going to open this thing back up, put in the new internal PSU, plug it in with this updated modern adapter, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be up and running. So yeah, as you can see here, that high-pitched whine I was talking about earlier came back as soon as I switched it on, and nothing is showing up on the screen now. Here you can see I'm pointing to a small gap in the PSU enclosure where I actually saw a small spark as soon as I turned the computer on. Okay, so unfortunately I'm going to have to cut this video short because I'm not sure what is happening with my Apple IIc. I was always planning on making a part 2 to this video, but mainly I was gonna focus on getting a black floppy drive faceplate, whether that be through painting or 3D printing, and also just give my thoughts on the case, which I guess I could give my thoughts on the aesthetics of it now. Build quality is amazing. They got the texture down perfect. There's no blemishes or weird defects with the molding. It looks amazing. It looks like it's straight from Apple. The silk screening on the case is very crisp, as well as on the keycaps. And while the case was a little stiff, which is to be expected given that it's a brand new injection molding, I found it relatively easy to eventually fit everything inside. I had some trouble screwing in some of the screws, but really it was a relatively painless process. And like I said, it looks beautiful. On the technical side of things, just to recap, when I initially tested this computer out with its original PSU, I assumed that it had died from natural causes. That's kind of just a fact of life with vintage computers. They die all the time for a myriad of reasons. So it's not uncommon to boot up a machine after several months or even a year, and it just doesn't work when it worked perfectly fine the last time you booted it up. But now to me, it looks like the act of plugging in the disk drive and the keyboard together is what is wrong with this machine and what is frying it. Because as you saw, when I plugged it in without anything connected to the logic board, with the new power supply and with the new modern replacement wall adapter, it booted to that pattern thing, which is what you want to see. If there's nothing plugged into the logic board, that means it's more or less working. But the second I plugged in the keyboard and the floppy drive, it fried itself. And unfortunately, I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to electrical engineering, so I'm gonna have to reach out to people and hopefully figure out what is wrong with this computer, if it's the floppy drive or if it's the new keyboard. I honestly don't know, and I don't feel comfortable saying, at least until I figure out definitively what it is that is wrong. And hopefully it turns out to just be an easy fix, that it's like a blown capacitor on the internal PSU that I just have to buy on Mauser or something. And as far as what's causing it, hopefully that's just like a dumb fix as well. But yeah, like I said, I'm sorry I have to cut this video short. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it entertaining, and if you backed this Kickstarter, I hope you have better luck with the case than I currently am having. And yeah, hopefully in part 2 I will have more answers and we can go on to do the fun stuff like addressing the front faceplate for the floppy drive to make this a completely black Apple IIc. So as always, this has been Colonial Puppet. Have a nice day.